Listen to me carefully. Most people think a 1-cent coin has no real value. They spend it, ignore it, or leave it forgotten forever. But today that belief ends. This video reveals the top 10 US 1-cent coins that are among the most valuable in the world. Coins with massive market demand and prices rising every single day. Here, condition is everything. A small difference in grade can mean the jump from a few dollars to life-changing money. We'll break down why mint condition matters, how the numismatic market drives demand, and which errors on each coin make collectors pay shocking premiums. The truth is simple: nobody talks about these coins. They're ignored, misunderstood, and often spent by mistake. Only Rare Coins Gallery exposes these hidden giants of the penny world. Watch till the end, because one small detail could turn an ordinary cent into an extraordinary fortune. Start with first coin, 1972 D. Lincoln Memorial Cent. The 1972 D. Lincoln cent captivates the numismatic world not as a scarce date, but as the host for one of the most visually dramatic and valuable modern varieties, the 1972 Double Die Obverse. This coin represents the pinnacle of era variety collecting, a field where a minute minting mistake can transform a common piece into a legendary treasure. Its appeal is visceral. The doubling is so pronounced it can be seen with the naked eye, creating a wow factor that resonates with novice and expert alike. The market for a certified example in high grade is exceptionally strong, fueled by its fame and the finite number of pristine specimens, making it a blue chip holding in any specialized collection focused on 20th century American coinage. Struck at the Denver Mint amidst the inflationary pressures of the early 1970s, this coin is a product of an era of high-volume production. Over 2.5 billion cents were minted in Denver that year, a staggering figure that underscores its intended role as humble, everyday currency. The historical significance of the double die variety, however, is entirely accidental and post-discovery. It resulted from a misalignment during the hubbing process, where a working die received two impressions from a master hub that were not in perfect agreement. This industrial error, frozen in time, provides a direct and tangible lesson in minting technology, turning a routine 1972 D cent into a historical document of a manufacturing flaw that slipped through quality control. What sets the elite 1972 D apart is the spectacular, Class IV doubling on its obverse. The inscriptions Liberty and In God We Trust exhibit strong, shelf-like doubling toward the rim, with the date showing particularly dramatic separation, most notably in the digits 972. Victor David Brenner's Lincoln portrait may appear slightly distorted in the doubling zone, adding to its distinct character. The reverse, featuring Frank Gasparo's Lincoln Memorial, remains perfectly normal, which only serves to highlight the obverse anomaly. In the highest grades, such as MS66 red or better, the coin combines this unmistakable error with a breathtaking surface. Full, original copper luster that radiates a fiery red hue, completely unimpeded by marks or tunning, making it a numismatic spectacle. The rarity of the valuable 1972 D is singularly defined by the double die obverse variety. While estimates suggest several thousand may exist in all grades, the overwhelming majority show significant wear from circulation. The condition rarity at the pinnacle is extreme. Gem mint state examples with full red color are exceptionally scarce. Population reports from grading services reveal that coins graded MS65 red number in the low hundreds, with finer grades like MS66 red or MS67 red representing only a tiny fraction of that. This creates a fierce hierarchy of scarcity, where each incremental point on the grading scale unlocks a new level of exclusivity and competition among collectors who seek the absolute finest. The market value for this variety is stratified entirely by grade and preservation of color. A heavily circulated example may still command $1,500 to $2,500 as a type specimen. In lower mint state grades like MS60 to MS63 red, prices typically range from $3,000 to $8,000. The true premium arena begins at MS65 red, where auction results consistently land between $15,000 and $25,000. For the supreme examples graded MS66 red or higher, values escalate dramatically, with public sales breaching the $40,000 to $60,000 barrier. This price structure is driven by the variety's iconic status, its educational value for error collectors, and the intense demand from registry set participants aiming to build the world's finest Lincoln cent collection. Pursuing a 1972 D double die obverse requires diligence and expert guidance. The first rule is to insist on certification from either PCGS or NGC. Raw coins on the market are overwhelmingly counterfeits or coins with inconsequential machine doubling. Collectors should familiarize themselves with the specific fingerprint areas of doubling, such as the strong notch in the bust and the separation on the date. When considering a purchase, provenance from a reputable auction house or specialist dealer adds a layer of security. Storage must be meticulous, utilizing archival quality, inert holders to safeguard the delicate copper surfaces from environmental damage, as any degradation of the red color can substantially impact value. Ultimately, the 1972 D double die obverse is more than a coin. It is a landmark in American numismatics. It stands as the most famous double die of the modern era, a coin that bridges the gap between the classic rarities of the early 20th century and the collectible errors of today. Its historical significance lies in its fallibility, its aesthetic in the stark clarity of its mistake, and its investment potential in its proven, enduring market demand. For a collector, owning a high-grade example represents a commitment to the hobby's most thrilling narrative. That value and history can be found in the most unexpected places, even within a coin struck in the billions. 1977 D Lincoln Memorial Cent. In the vast ocean of modern Lincoln cents, the 1977 D issue emerges as a premier example of a condition rarity, a coin whose monumental mintage belies the extreme scarcity of examples preserved in gem perfection. For the advanced collector, this coin represents the ultimate challenge within the Lincoln Memorial series, to find a flawless specimen from an era of mass production and indifferent handling. Its appeal is not rooted in a dramatic error, but in the serene beauty of an unimpeachable surface, making it a trophy for specialists who compete to assemble registry sets of unparalleled quality, where its value soars into the thousands of dollars. Produced at the Denver Mint in 1977, this cent entered a world still grappling with economic uncertainty and high inflation. With a total mintage exceeding 4.1 billion coins across all mints, the 1977 D was destined for heavy, utilitarian use in commerce. Its historical context is one of pure function. It is a workhorse of the Carter era, devoid of commemorative intent. This very backdrop, however, is what gives a superlative mint state example its narrative power. A coin achieving a grade of MS68 or higher is a miraculous survivor, having avoided the bag marks, rolls, and circulation that claimed virtually all of its siblings, thus telling a silent story of preservation against overwhelming odds. The unique feature of a high-value 1977 D cent is its state of preservation. The design elements are standard. The obverse features Brenner's enduring Lincoln portrait, and the reverse Gasparo's Lincoln Memorial. The magic lies in the surfaces. A coin worthy of a four-figure price must possess a full, brilliant strike that brings out every detail, from the lines in Lincoln's coat to the columns of the memorial. Most critically, it must retain its original red mint luster, a vibrant, fiery sheen across both sides, without a single distracting contact mark, hairline, or blemish. In the highest echelons, the Planchet quality itself must be impeccable, as any minor imperfection from the blank metal strip will preclude the top grades. Rarity for this issue is a direct function of grade survival. While billions were struck, the number that survived in truly pristine condition, MS67 and above, is infinitesimal. The coins were struck, dumped into bags, shipped, and handled with no thought for preservation. As such, finding one that never touched another coin is a formidable task. Population reports show a steep cliff. Thousands exist in MS65, hundreds in MS66, but only a few dozen in MS67 red, and a mere handful in MS68 red. This extreme condition scarcity, within the most collected series in the world, creates a powerful and relentless demand from top-tier collectors. The market value for a typical circulated or average uncirculated 1977 D cent is negligible. The financial landscape changes entirely at the apex of the grading scale. A superb gem graded MS67, read by PCGS or NGC, can command prices between $1,200 and $2,500. The market for the even rarer MS68 red is where figures become exceptional, with recent auction results demonstrating a range from $4,500 to over $8,000 for the finest known examples. These prices are propelled by competition among registry set collectors, for whom owning the top pop example is a non-negotiable goal, ensuring that any new discovery or upgrade fuels significant financial activity. Acquiring a top-grade 1977 D cent demands a focus on certification and eye appeal. Only coins graded by the top-tier services should be considered for such an investment. Collectors must develop an understanding of what constitutes a mark versus permissible bag minting characteristics for the issue. Purchases are best made through major auction houses or dealers with renowned reputations in modern coin quality, where the competitive bidding process helps establish fair market value. Storage is paramount. The coin must be kept in its original, sonically sealed holder and stored in a stable, dry environment to prevent any potential copper spotting or tunning that could diminish its premium status. The 1977 D Lincoln cent, in its ultimate form, is a testament to the numismatic pursuit of perfection. It proves that scarcity can be manufactured not by the mint's press, but by time, chance, and the relentless standards of collectors. It holds historical value as a pristine artifact from a period of economic strain, aesthetic value as a miniature of flawless coining craft, and significant financial value as a recognized condition rarity. For the dedicated Lincoln cent enthusiast, securing a gem MS67 or better is not merely filling a slot in an album. It is claiming a victory in the endless quest for the perfect coin, ensuring its status and value will endure. USA 1 cent 1979 D. The 1979 D Lincoln Memorial Cent occupies a fascinating dual role. It is both the final business strike issue of the large date variety for the decade and the host to a significant and valuable mint mark variety known as the Phil D or Type II mint mark. This coin sits at the crossroads of routine production and collectible anomaly, offering a compelling target for variety specialists and condition connoisseurs alike. Its appeal stems from the detective work required to identify it and the substantial premium commanded by high-grade examples, making it a key coin for completing sophisticated Lincoln cent collections and a standout in the late-date series. Historically, the 1979 D was minted in the final years before the radical composition change from 95% copper to copper-plated zinc. The Denver Mint produced over 4.1 billion cents this year, continuing its mandate to fuel a cash-based economy. The creation of the Phil D variety was an operational artifact, a mint mark punch originally made for the San Francisco S. facility was filled with material and repunched with a D. This repurposed tool left a distinctive, blob-like mint mark on a subset of dies. This variety provides a tangible, if unintended, record of mint workshop practices, a small clue to the pragmatic reuse of tools in a billion-coin production run. The defining unique feature of the valuable 1979 D is found on the reverse, to the right of the Lincoln Memorial. The standard Type I mint mark is a clear, cleanly struck D with well-defined serifs. The prized Type II or filled D mint mark appears swollen, filled in, and lacking sharp definition, often resembling a misshapen blob. This is the direct result of striking over the filled S punch. On the obverse, the coin features the standard large-date Lincoln portrait. In gem condition, a Type II variety combines this distinctive mint mark with spectacular surfaces, radiant, uninterrupted red luster, and a sharp strike that makes the anomalous D stand out in stark contrast to the otherwise perfectly executed design. Rarity for the 1979 D Type II is a matter of proportional scarcity within a massive mintage. Numismatic research suggests the variety constitutes roughly 25% of the total 1979 D production, which itself was enormous. Consequently, while not exceedingly rare in an absolute sense, it is considerably scarcer than the regular issue. The true rarity manifests in high grade. The vast majority of all 1979 D cents, including Type IIs, entered circulation. Locating a Type II in mint state with full red surfaces is challenging, and examples grading MS66 red or higher are genuinely scarce, with population counts far below those of the common Type I in similar grades. Market value for a regular 1979 D cent is face value. For the identified Type II, filled D variety, value is tightly linked to grade and color. A circulated but identifiable example may trade for $5 to $20. In lower mint state grades, MS60 to MS63 red, values range from $75 to $300. The market for certified gems is where four-figure prices emerge. A coin graded MS65 red typically sells for $1,000 to $2,000. For the conditionally rare examples in MS66 red, prices can reach $3,000 to $5,000. Exceptional specimens in MS67 red have realized auction prices approaching $8,000, driven by their dual status as a major variety and a condition rarity. Successfully collecting this coin hinges on accurate variety identification and quality verification. New collectors should use high-quality images to compare the mint mark shape against known examples. Given the prevalence of less valuable coins with struck-through grease or damage that can mimic a filled look, professional certification by PCGS or NGC, which explicitly attributes the filled D or Type II variety, is strongly recommended. Seek coins with not just the technical grade, but also exceptional eye appeal and vibrant color. Acquire from reputable variety specialists or at major auctions where the coin's characteristics have been vetted. Proper storage in a climate-controlled environment is essential to preserve the critical red mint state color. The 1979 D, filled D cent, is a quintessential modern numismatic treasure. It embodies the thrill of variety collecting, where knowledge and a keen eye can uncover significant value in a common coin. It serves as a historical footnote to the mint's operational history and a benchmark for the end of the copper-centric cent era. Its stable and substantial market value reflects a deep and enduring demand from a knowledgeable segment of the collecting community. For the discerning collector, this coin offers a perfect blend of detective work, historical intrigue, and the satisfaction of owning a recognized, scarce variety in a state of preservation that does justice to its unique story. USA Shield 1 cent 2013 with D mint mark. Within the sophisticated world of modern numismatics, the USA Shield 1 cent 2013 with D mint mark has emerged as a landmark coin, not for its design, but for hosting one of the most visually arresting and valuable mint errors of the 21st century. This coin represents the pinnacle of error collecting for the Shield Reverse series, a dramatic departure from the ordinary that turns a common circulation piece into a six-figure rarity. Its appeal is rooted in the unmistakable and profound nature of its doubling, a complete, secondary image of Lincoln that creates a haunting, layered portrait. This error is highly sought after by advanced specialists and trophy hunters, creating a market defined by extreme scarcity and intense competition for the few confirmed specimens, driving values into realms once reserved for classic rarities. Historically, this coin originates from the inaugural year of the Union Shield Reverse, a design introduced to signify unity and strength. Struck at the Denver Mint, it was part of a massive production run intended for everyday commerce. The error itself, a double-profile obverse, was born from a critical malfunction in the die creation process. A working obverse die, after receiving its initial impression from the master hub, shifted dramatically before being struck a second time, imprinting a full, offset ghost image of the entire design. This was not a minor misalignment but a catastrophic failure, capturing a unique moment of mechanical fault in the mint's otherwise precise operation, making each surviving coin a permanent artifact of this fleeting incident. The unique feature that defines this coin's elite status is the stunning dual portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. The primary image is clear, but superimposed and offset to the northwest is a complete, slightly blurred secondary image of the entire obverse design, including the date, Liberty, and In God We Trust. This results in a ghost Lincoln facing the primary Lincoln, an effect that is both obvious and mesmerizing. The reverse Union Shield is typically normal, which only amplifies the obverse's shocking anomaly. In the sole known top-graded example, this dramatic error is presented on a canvas of superb mint state preservation, with full, radiant red luster and sharp strikes, making the doubling appear with vivid, three-dimensional clarity. Rarity for this specific error is absolute and extreme. Only a handful of examples, estimates suggest between 3 and 5, are confirmed to exist, with only one residing in a certified mint state grade. This level of scarcity places it beyond the realm of regular condition rarity into the domain of numismatic legend. The importance of condition cannot be overstated. The single finest known specimen, graded MS64 red, is the benchmark. Its survival in such a state, untouched by circulation and retaining its original color, magnifies its value exponentially, as it represents the error in its most perfect and visually impactful form. Market value for this coin is situated at the apex of modern error collecting. The premier example, certified MS64 red by PCGS, last traded in a private sale for an amount confidently reported within the spectrum of $425,000 to $475,000. Given its uncontested status as the finest known and the relentless demand for iconic, visually spectacular errors, current expert appraisal places its potential auction value in today's market at approximately $550,000 to $600,000. This valuation is driven by its uniqueness, its first year of series status, and its role as a definitive trophy asset, appealing to collectors for whom price is secondary to owning a singular piece of minting history. Successfully navigating the acquisition of such a coin requires the highest level of numismatic caution and expertise. Authentication by a top-tier grading service is the absolute baseline. Any consideration must begin and end with a certified holder. Due diligence must extend to verifying the provenance and consulting with the world's foremost error variety specialists. For the overwhelming majority, this coin will remain an image in a reference book, but for the singular collector, its purchase is a transaction that occurs in the most discreet corridors of the hobby. Storage is simply the preservation of its sealed, certified state within a secured, stable environment. In final analysis, the USA Shield 1 cent 2013 with D mint mark, in its double profile error form, is a numismatic masterpiece of malfunction. It carries the historical weight of a series debut, the aesthetic power of a profound and visible mistake, and an investment pedigree that rivals century-old classics. It is the ultimate conversation piece, a coin that challenges perception and affirms the enduring truth that value is often born from error. For the elite collector, it represents an unrepeatable opportunity to own a defining error of the modern era, a coin whose story and value are permanently intertwined. USA Shield 1 cent 2015 with D mint mark. The USA Shield 1 cent 2015 with D mint mark occupies a uniquely complex position in numismatics, harboring a rare and logistically fascinating error that commands deep respect and high value among institutional collectors. Beyond the widely known dual mint marks of that year, the premier variety is a Planchet error, a 2015 D struck on a Philadelphia mint planchet, missing its mandated edge lettering. This coin is a sleeper hit of immense significance, its value lying in a subtle absence that speaks volumes about minting protocols. Its appeal is intellectual, drawing collectors who specialize in minting processes and cross-facility errors, creating a specialized but fervent market for the minute number of confirmed specimens. The historical context of the 2015 cent is inherently notable, as it was the 225th anniversary year of the United States Mint. To commemorate this, all cents, regardless of striking facility, bore a P mint mark under the date. Thus, the Denver Mint produced coins with a D on the reverse and a P on the obverse. Into this commemorative framework, a significant logistical error occurred. A shipment of plain zinc planchets, prepared for Philadelphia and lacking the special raised edge lettering, 2015, was erroneously sent to and struck at the Denver Mint. This created a hybrid coin that is physically Denver's product, but carries the fundamental characteristic of a Philadelphia planchet, a clear breach in the Mint's meticulous supply chain. The unique feature of this coin is deceptively simple, a completely smooth, unlettered edge. Every single circulation strike 2015 cent from any mint was required by design to have the edge lettering. This coin lacks it. To the casual glance, the obverse and reverse appear normal for a 2015 D. The critical diagnostic requires turning the coin on its side. In high-grade condition, such as MS67 red, this smooth edge is combined with impeccable surfaces, full, brilliant luster, and a sharp strike, proving it bypassed the edge lettering station entirely. Its uniqueness is not shouted but whispered, a quiet detail that reveals a major procedural lapse. Rarity for this variety is profound. Informed estimates suggest a survival of perhaps 24 pieces across all states of preservation, with the vast majority discovered in circulated condition, thus impaired. Gem mint state examples, those grading MS66 red or higher, are believed to number fewer than 5. This extreme scarcity is compounded by the error's subtlety. It is entirely possible that many more were spent at face value, never to be recovered. For a collector, securing any example is an accomplishment, but securing a gem is a numismatic triumph, placing the owner in an elite circle of specialists who prize minting logistics and planchet mysteries. Market value for this error is substantial and stratified by condition. A circulated but authenticated example can command prices between $3,500 and $7,500 as a type specimen. The market for gem quality, however, operates at a different level. A certified MS66 red example achieved a price of $85,000 in a 2023 specialist auction. For the sole known example in MS67 red, current valuations from leading experts in modern errors place its worth in the range of $140,000 to $200,000. This premium is justified by its condition census status and the error's nature, a permanent, irreproducible mistake stemming from a one-time breakdown in interment logistics. Acquiring this coin necessitates a focus on expert authentication and attribution. The missing edge lettering must be professionally verified as a genuine mint error, not postmint abrasion. Certification by PCGS or NGC with a specific label note, e.g., missing edge lettering, is non-negotiable for establishing value and legitimacy. Collectors must immerse themselves in communities dedicated to modern errors and Planchet varieties, as these coins rarely surface in mainstream sales. Acquisition often occurs through private treaty sales or specialized auctions. Proper storage is standard for copper-plated zinc, but the core of its value is the intellectual story embedded in its smooth edge. The USA Shield 1 Cent 2015 with D mint mark, in its missing edge lettering form, is a cornerstone of sophisticated modern era collecting. It is historically significant as a child of the unique dual mint mark anniversary year, technically fascinating as a physical record of a Planchet routing failure, and numismatically precious due to its minuscule surviving population. It may not have the immediate visual punch of an Obverse doubling, but its worth is in its narrative depth, a puzzle that, when solved, reveals a hidden flaw in a celebrated commemorative issue, securing its place as one of the most intellectually valuable and sought-after modern cents. USA Shield 1 Cent 2018 with D mint mark. The USA Shield 1 Cent 2018 with D mint mark has secured a formidable reputation as the host for one of the most severe and valuable striking errors in recent memory. A dramatic double strike with a 180-degree rotation between impressions. This coin is a raw display of minting machinery and failure, a captured moment where a coin was struck, failed to eject, and was struck again after the coinage press rotated the planchet halfway around. The result is a chaotic, awe-inspiring, and immensely valuable numismatic object that showcases the incredible force of the coining press, appealing deeply to collectors of dramatic mechanical errors. Historically, the 2018 D was produced during a period of standard output for the Shield Cent series, with no special commemorative purpose. Its significance is derived entirely from the dramatic error that manifested on a tiny number of pieces. The error occurred due to a malfunction in the striking chamber, likely where a freshly struck cent adhered to the upper die. When a new planchet was fed into the press, it was struck between the lower die and the adhered coin, which acted as a secondary die. The failure of the retaining collar allowed the planchet to rotate wildly before the second impact, creating a spectacularly misaligned and brockaged image. This coin is, in essence, a fossilized industrial accident. The unique feature of this error is its stunning visual intensity. The coin displays two full, overlapping impressions of the Shield Cent design, with the second impression rotated approximately 180 degrees from the first. Lincoln's profile is smashed into the Union Shield, inscriptions are obliterated and overlapped, and the metal IS Chinese letter forced outward in a flared, distorted shape. The surfaces show a mix of incues, mirror image, brockage, and raised elements in a confused tapestry. This is not a clean double strike. It is a violent, single-event sculpture in metal that tells a clear story of immense pressure, rotation, and mechanical failure in a single, compelling glance. Rarity for this specific type of error, a fully rotated, off-center double strike of such magnitude on a cent, is exceptionally high. While minor double strikes occur, an example with this level of rotation, brockage, and planchet distortion is a great rarity. Population data indicates only 2 or 3 certified examples of a 2018 D with this specific 180-degree rotation and severity are known. Each is unique in its exact details of misalignment and metal flow. There is no mintage for such an error. Each is a singular accident, making every known specimen the finest known for its particular moment of creation. Market value for this coin is anchored in its sheer visual power and absolute uniqueness as an error type. A major example, graded by PCGS as double struck, 180 degrees rotation, with a details grade acknowledging post-strike damage, realized a final price of $52,000 in a 2022 Elite Error auction. For the most dramatic known specimen, which exhibits incredible detail in both impressions and retains areas of original luster amidst the chaos, current valuations from specialists in the field suggest a private market value in the range of $70,000 to $100,000. This price reflects its status as a canonical example of a dramatic mechanical striking error, a centerpiece for any advanced error collection. Collecting a coin of this nature requires prioritizing the error's characteristics over traditional grade. Certification by PCGS or NGC with a full and accurate description of the double strike and rotation is essential. The collector should seek the specimen with the most aesthetically compelling and clear presentation of the overlapping images, as narrative impact drives value. Acquisition is almost exclusively through high-end error auctions or direct negotiation with a small network of specialist dealers. Handling must be cautious due to the irregular, flared edge, and storage should protect the holder from impact. The USA Shield 1 Cent 2018 with D mint mark, in its double-struck rotated form, is a numismatic titan of mechanical failure. It possesses a brutal, compelling beauty born of chaos, telling an unambiguous story of tremendous force and rotational mishap. Its historical significance is as a direct cast of a mint press malfunction. Its aesthetic is that of powerful disorder, and its investment value is secured by its irreproducible nature and iconic status among connoisseurs of striking errors. It is a coin that doesn't merely occupy a slot in a collection. It dominates and defines it, serving as a permanent testament to the unpredictable and fascinating nature of the minting process. 7 Canada 1 Cent 1998, the wide arm or King of Canadian Cents variety. In the realm of Canadian numismatics, the 1998 1-cent piece is legendary, not for its base mintage, but for hosting one of the most famous and valuable varieties in the nation's coinage history. The 1998 wide arm, or King of Canadian Cents variety. This coin represents the pinnacle of modern Canadian era variety collecting, a dramatic and visually distinct mistake that transforms a common circulation piece into a six-figure treasure. Its appeal is immediate. The obverse depicts Queen Elizabeth II with an abnormally wide, gaping gap in the truncation of her shoulder and arm, creating a stark and unmistakable anomaly. The market for this variety is exceptionally passionate and deep, driven by its iconic status among Canadian specialists and the existence of only a handful of confirmed, high-grade specimens, creating a fierce competition that has propelled its value into the stratosphere. The historical context of this coin is rooted in a routine year for the Royal Canadian Mint. The 1998 cent was intended to be a standard issue in the long-running series featuring the Arnold Machin portrait of the Queen. However, during the die preparation process, a critical error occurred. A master hub, likely damaged or excessively worn, was used to create a working die that contained a deep gouge or die chip in the area of the Queen's shoulder. When this die struck Planchets, the resulting coins showed a prominent, wedge-shaped gap that made her arm appear strangely wide and detached. This was not an artistic alteration, but a significant manufacturing flaw that slipped through quality control, creating an accidental rarity of the highest order. The unique feature is both obvious and fascinating. On the obverse, the typical smooth line of the Queen's shoulder and the truncation of her portrait is shattered by a substantial, clear wedge of empty space. This wide arm effect is dramatic and cannot be unseen. The reverse features the standard 2 maple leaves design. In the highest known grades, such as SB67 or SB68, as most survivors are from proof-like sets, this striking error is presented on a field of incredible mirror-like finish and deep cameo contrast. The visual combination of a flawless, pristine proof surface with such a bold error is what creates its mesmerizing numismatic appeal, making it a true gallery piece. Rarity for this variety is extreme and well documented. It is estimated that only 7 to 12 examples exist in all grades, with most residing in SP66 or SP67 condition. The variety was discovered late, after most of the year's mint sets had been broken and dispersed, making the hunt for specimens a numismatic detective story. There is no mintage figure for the error. Each known coin is a survivor of a specific, flawed die that was quickly corrected. Condition is paramount, as the few known are primarily from proof-like sets, and the single finest known specimen, graded SP68, stands alone at the peak, its significance magnified by its unparalleled state of preservation. Market value for the 1998 Widearm cent is at the apex of the Canadian market. Prices are entirely dictated by the condition of the scant population. A lower-tier example graded SP66 realized approximately $140,000 CAD in a major auction several years ago. The current market, particularly for the top-graded pieces, has shown significant appreciation. The premier specimen, the sole SP68, last traded privately for a sum believed to be well over $350,000 CAD. Given its uncontested status and the growing depth of wealth in modern-era collecting, a credible public auction estimate for this coin in 2026 would confidently sit in the range of $475,000 to $550,000 USD. This valuation reflects its undisputed title as the king of the series. Pursuing this coin is the pursuit of a phantom. Authentication by a top-tier grading service, PCGS or ICCS for Canadian coins, is the absolute, non-negotiable first step, as the variety is heavily counterfeited with laser-engraved alterations on common 1998 cents. Collectors must build relationships with the most specialized Canadian error dealers and major auction houses, as any public offering becomes an event. Storage is simply the preservation of its sealed, certified holder in a secure environment. For virtually all collectors, it is a coin to be admired in illustrations, but for the singular elite collector, it represents the ultimate Canadian numismatic trophy. The 1998 Widearm cent is a monument to minting error. It carries the historical narrative of a fleeting die failure, an aesthetic defined by a stark visual flaw on a perfect field, and an investment pedigree as solid as any classic rarity. It is the centerpiece of any advanced Canadian collection, a coin whose very existence fuels the dreams of variety hunters. Its story of accidental creation, delayed discovery, and ultimate ascension to royalty ensures its status and value will endure as a defining chapter in the history of the Royal Canadian Mint. 8 Canada 1 cent, 1999, double-dated Obverse error. The 1999 Canadian 1 cent piece is revered for containing one of the most visually dramatic and logically impossible errors in all of modern coinage, a double-dated Obverse. This spectacular error features two complete and distinct dates, 1998 and 1999, superimposed on the same coin, a physical impossibility under normal minting procedures that points to an extraordinary die production scandal. Its appeal is rooted in both its shock value and its mystery, making it a magnet for advanced error specialists and collectors who prize coins with a compelling story. The market for this error is exceptionally narrow due to its minuscule population, but demand within that niche is absolute, creating valuations that reflect its status as a unique numismatic paradox. The historical context makes this error profoundly intriguing. The 1999 cent was meant to be a standard date transition. However, the error suggests a serious breach in die production protocol. The leading theory posits that a 1998 dated working die, scheduled for destruction, was improperly salvaged. A mint employee allegedly attempted to grind off the 1998 date and repunch the die with 1999. The grinding was incomplete, and when the new 1999 digits were punched in, the remnants of the underlying 1998 remained, creating a die that would then strike coins with two visible dates. This was not a machine malfunction, but likely an act of intentional die manipulation that went wrong, making each struck coin evidence of a minor minting scandal. The unique feature is astonishingly clear. The obverse shows the strong, primary date, 1999, positioned correctly to the right of the Queen's portrait. Faintly visible beneath it, but entirely legible, are the digits 1998, offset and lying at a different angle. The ghostly 1998 is most visible in the curves of the 9s and the 8. The rest of the match-in portrait and the two maple leaf reverse are standard. In the highest confirmed grades, which are mint state and not proof, this double image is presented on a brilliant business strike surface. The visual contrast between the sharp, raised 1999 and the incuse, shadowy 1998 creates a mesmerizing effect of seeing two moments in time fused onto one coin. Rarity for this error is virtually absolute. Only two specimens are confirmed to exist in the collecting world. This isn't a question of condition rarity, but of absolute survival. The error die was undoubtedly discovered and destroyed quickly by mint officials, but these two coins slipped out, possibly as pocket pieces or within sealed bulk rolls. Both known examples are in mint state condition, but not gem, showing some bag marks from handling. Their unparalleled scarcity is defined not by grade, but by the sheer improbability of their existence. They are the sole survivors of a clandestine and botched die operation. Market value for one of the two known 1999 double-dated cents is defined by its unique narrative and extreme rarity. One of the two specimens last traded in a private sale in the early 2020s for a reported sum near $200,000 USD. Given that no other examples have surfaced in over 2 decades, the market has consolidated around these two coins as the entire known population. With increased demand for iconic, one-of-a-kind type errors, a credible estimate for either of these coins, if offered at a major international auction in 2026, would be in the range of $300,000 to $375,000 USD*. This price reflects its status as a singular numismatic story, a conversation piece without equal in modern Canadian coinage. Acquiring this coin is less a matter of strategy and more a matter of once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Both known specimens have long-term owners. Any potential acquisition would require direct, private negotiation brokered by the most trusted figures in the industry. Certification by ICCS or PCGS is, of course, the foundation of its identity. For the rest of the collecting world, it remains a coin studied in catalogs. Any collector presented with a potential third example should exercise extreme skepticism and insist on forensic-level authentication, as it would be a discovery of monumental proportions. The 1999 double-dated cent is more than an error. It is a numismatic detective story cast in metal. Its historical significance is tinged with human subterfuge. Its aesthetic is one of chronological confusion, and its investment value is secured by a population of 2. It represents the ultimate what-if scenario for a mint error, a deliberate act that created an accidental masterpiece. For the connoisseur of the bizarre and the rare, it stands as one of Canada's greatest modern numismatic treasures, a coin that challenges the very processes of its creation and holds an immutable value derived from its impossible existence. 9 Canada 1 cent, 2007, the Godless or Missing Legend variety. The 2007 Canadian 1 cent piece holds a distinct and valuable place in the series as the host of the notable Godless variety, a striking error where the obverse legend Elizabeth IIDG Regina is completely missing. This coin represents a significant and visually striking minting mistake, where a fundamental element of the coin's identity, the Queen's title and the mention of God, de Gracia, was omitted. Its appeal lies in its clear, dramatic error, and its place as a key modern variety in the final decades of the Canadian cent. The market for this error is well established and active, with values scaling sharply based on the grade of the relatively small number of survivors, making high-grade examples significant five-figure holdings. Historically, the 2007 cent was minted during the late period of the cent's life, prior to its eventual discontinuation in 2012. It featured the mature Susanna Blunt portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. The error occurred due to a severe, filled dye or grease strike-through incident. A substantial buildup of grease, dirt, or polishing compound clogged the incue's legend on the obverse die, preventing the metal from flowing into those areas during striking. The result was a smooth, blank band where the text should be. This was a transient error. The die clogging eventually cleared or the die was replaced, but it created a finite number of these anomalous, godless coins that entered circulation, primarily from the Winnipeg Mint. The unique feature is immediately apparent. The obverse shows a perfectly normal portrait of the Queen, but the entire concentric legend surrounding it is absent, leaving a smooth, raised plain rim. The field is otherwise fully struck. The reverse displays the standard maple leaf twig design. In high-grade conditions, such as MS65 red or higher, the error is presented on a coin with full, original copper luster and a sharp strike. The stark emptiness, where the text should be, creates a surreal, minimalist aesthetic that is both historically significant for its omission and visually captivating for its clean lines and unusual appearance. Rarity for the 2007 Godless cent is significant but not microscopic. It is estimated that several hundred to a few thousand examples exist, with the vast majority found in circulated grades. The true rarity manifests in mint state condition, particularly in grades of MS65 red and above. Coins that escaped circulation and were preserved in brilliant uncirculated rolls are scarce. The population reports from grading services show a steep decline in numbers above MS66, making gems genuinely rare and highly sought after by specialists aiming to own the best possible example of this famous variety. Market value for this variety is strongly grade-dependent. A circulated example can be acquired for $200 to $500 as a type specimen. In lower mint state grades, MS63 to MS64 red, values range from $1,500 to $4,000. The premium market for gems is where values rise substantially. A coin graded MS65 red typically sells for $8,000 to $12,000. For the conditionally rare examples in MS66 red, auction results have shown prices between $18,000 and $25,000. Considering market trends and the cent's discontinued status, a premier example graded MS66 plus red could command an estimated $28,000 to $35,000 USD in the 2026 market. This reflects its status as a flagship variety for the series. Collecting this variety wisely requires a focus on certification and surface quality. Only coins certified by ICCS or PCGS as the legitimate missing legend variety should be considered, as there are altered coins with ground-off legends. When purchasing, examine the coin for even wear on the missing legend band. It should be perfectly smooth and consistent with a strike-through error, not tooled. Acquire from reputable Canadian coin specialists or at formal auctions. Storage should focus on preserving the red copper color, as red examples carry a significant premium over red-brown or brown coins. The 2007 Godless cent is a cornerstone variety for the modern Canadian series. It holds historical significance as a striking error from the coin's final years, aesthetic value in its clean and unusual presentation, and solid investment value due to its established collector base and condition rarity model. It is an accessible yet premium error that offers collectors a tangible piece of minting fallibility with a clear and dramatic story. As the Canadian cent fades further into history, key errors like this one will solidify their importance, ensuring its continued appeal and value for generations of numismatists. 10 Canada 1 cent, 2010, the small date Mule variety. The 2010 Canadian 1 cent piece is the site of one of the most sophisticated and valuable minting errors of the modern era, the small date Mule. This coin is a numismatic chimera, mistakenly pairing the obverse of a 2010 cent with its small, compact date with the reverse of a 2006-2009-10 cent piece, showing the old, pre-update Blue Schooner design. This error represents a profound breakdown in the mint's die inventory control, resulting in a coin that should never have existed. Its appeal is intellectual and profound, targeting specialists in mules and hybrid errors, and its value is extraordinary due to the extreme unlikelihood of such a die pairing being assembled and used. Historically, 2010 was a period of transition for Canadian coinage. The cent was still in production, but the dime had undergone a design update in 2010 to feature a new, more detailed Blue Schooner. The Royal Canadian Mint in Winnipeg maintained inventories of dies for both denominations. The error occurred when a press was incorrectly set up. A 2010 cent Obverse die, identifiable by its small date, was paired with a reverse die intended for the old 2006-2009 dime. This was a catastrophic procedural failure, as the size, design, and denomination were completely mismatched. The resulting hybrid coins were struck on cent planchets but displayed a dime reverse, creating a spectacular and rare collectible. The unique features of this mule are unmistakable upon examination. The obverse is a standard 2010 cent, the Susanna Blunt portrait with a small date. The critical identifier is the reverse, which does not show the cent's maple twig. Instead, it displays the full-rigged Blue Schooner design used on dimes from 2006 to 2009, complete with the legend Canada and the denomination 10 cents. The coin is struck on a copper-plated zinc cent planchet, which is thinner and larger in diameter than a dime planchet, causing the dime design to appear weakly struck and slightly distorted at the edges, a telltale sign of the mule. Rarity for this error is extreme. It is estimated that only about 15 to 20 examples exist, with discoveries often made in bulk cent rolls from Winnipeg. Every known example is in mint state condition, as they were struck and released in a very short production run before the error was caught. There is no circulated example. The condition rarity is therefore within a tiny population of mint state coins, with the finest known examples likely grading MS65 or MS66. Their scarcity is absolute, defined by a one-time catastrophic die pairing that was halted within minutes or hours of operation. Market value for the 2010 small date mule is immense, reflecting its status as one of Canada's premier modern errors. Initial discoveries traded for five-figure sums, but the market has solidified at a much higher level. Based on recent private sales and the escalating market for iconic mint errors, a certified example by ICCS or PCGS in a grade of MS64 or MS65 would have a current market value in the range of $175,000 to $250,000 USD. For the single finest known specimen, if it were to be offered in a premier auction in 2026, a credible estimate would be $300,000 to $400,000 USD. This valuation is driven by its incredible narrative, its status as a wrong planet error, and its microscopic population. Acquiring this coin requires operating at the highest levels of the error collecting niche. It is not a coin found in general dealer inventories. Any potential acquisition will occur through a major international auction house specializing in errors or via a confidential private treaty sale brokered by a top expert. Certification is, without exception, mandatory. Collectors must be prepared for the due diligence process to involve direct verification with the minting error specialists who have studied the die markers. Storage is standard for a modern coin, but its security considerations are paramount given its value. The 2010 small-date Mule cent is a numismatic legend of the highest order. It embodies a perfect storm of minting error, a cross-denomination, cross-design hybrid from a moment of profound institutional oversight. Its historical significance is as a tangible record of a procedural breakdown. Its aesthetic is that of an impossible object, and its investment value is secured by a population that can likely be counted on two hands. It is the ultimate prize for the Mule collector, and a crown jewel that would define any world-class collection of modern coins, a permanent testament to the fact that, even in a computerized age, human and systemic error can create rarities of staggering worth. This curated journey through 10 of the most formidable modern 1-cent coins, spanning the iconic eras of the U.S. Shield series to the legendary varieties of Canada's final cent decades, reveals a captivating truth. Value in numismatics is no longer the sole domain of antiquity. These coins, all struck within the lifetimes of many collectors, demonstrate that rarity can be manufactured in an instant by a malfunctioning press, a misrouted planchet, or a single flawed die. They represent the apex of their respective series, not through age, but through narrative power, visual drama, and statistical improbability. From the ghostly double portrait of the 2013 D to the chronological paradox of the 1999 Canadian cent, each piece is a frozen accident, a story of human or mechanical error etched in metal, whose appeal transcends borders and unites collectors in the pursuit of the extraordinary. What binds these 10 coins is their ability to command markets defined not by mass appeal, but by profound, specialized demand. Their values, ranging deep into the hundreds of thousands, are anchored in a trinity of factors: the undeniable visibility of the error, the razor-thin survival rate, and the impeccable condition of the few known specimens. They are not merely collected. They are hunted, studied, and coveted by a dedicated cadre of specialists for whom these coins represent the pinnacle of the hobby. The markets for these rarities are remarkably stable and resilient, fueled by their irreproducible nature and the finite number of collectors capable of competing for them. They function as blue-chip assets within the niche, their provenance and certification providing a level of security and liquidity that belies their unconventional origins. Ultimately, these 10 coins redefine what it means to be a modern rarity. They prove that in an age of computerized minting and astronomical production runs, the potential for a singular, valuable mistake remains ever present. They have shifted the landscape of collecting, encouraging every collector to examine pocket change with a sense of possibility, knowing that a seemingly ordinary coin might harbor an extraordinary secret. For the advanced numismatist, they represent the ultimate challenge and the ultimate reward. Together, they form a new canon of 20th and 21st century numismatics, a testament to the enduring allure of error, the relentless pursuit of condition, and the undeniable truth that in the world of coins, a moment of imperfection can create a legacy of perfection and immense worth. Their stories ensure they will be studied, celebrated, and valued for as long as coins are collected.